Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you are.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go.
All right.
Wild and woolly morning here. Looks like there's this big down move was the reports of U.S. ship was cargo ship was uh, accosted by the Iranians. So
What happened?
I put it in the pro room. I figured I'm like it couldn't have been consumer confidence to do the le plunge.
Yeah, it had to be news related for sure.
Mm-hmm.
How did consumer confidence come in?
Worse than expected.
In line with what we expected?
It's pretty rare. I mean, usually that's comes in better than expected, or
What do you think accrued? What do you think accrued here?
no man's land.
It's still an impulse wave off of a 5 minute. Could get a bounce. Big move in crude though, huh?
Well, it spiked with that news, but it looks like it's all probably a fishing boat or a spy ship, right?
Exactly.
So 4 hour, this is a pullback on the NASDAQ into the way it was trading. I'm like, it's going to hit the bottom band today. 1 hour, hit
On the
Larry's
daily?
band. 4 hour.
Yeah, hit the number.
Went through it by 8. But yeah, that was, there's the 15-minute.
Got it.
And the 5. Crude, I'd be wait for reload at 57.15.
57.15 is the number.
What's the bottom band? I guess if you got a 5-minute buy, maybe, but
Yeah. Yeah. One minute, you mean?
right. I'm trying to look that NASDAQ short was so fast moving it didn't get filled. That's pretty sickening. Because it proceeded to drop about 40 handles in a heartbeat.
Not even thinking about it.
I guess that's the whole point of trading sometimes when you gotta just can't throw a market order out there, but we had a signal that went out right here.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could have let it, and the next minute would have got filled. I guess I should have let it sit. Live and learn, right? It just made that first drop. I never saw it look back. Maybe it was the wrong time frame, but.
I mean 45.10 to 44.70.
It was at 9:56. 8:56. Crude daily still in that high basing range.
I like crude here.
4 hour. 1 hour. Centered on the 15-minute, pretty good.
Just got those lows. The 5 minute.
Retraced all that down move. That's wonder how much that hedge fund made from Al Arabia or whatever, Al Arabia TV. They're the only news group that released that.
Got it. We had that big impulse wave on crude, and now it's just kind of basing sideways here. It's going to be that channel breakout trade, though.
If you buy it, you could have a stop at like 38. I don't know, but
yeah, just blow that low. Still don't have a turn on a 5 minute yet.
right,
Lower highs, lower lows, trading midpoint of current, low previous.
right. It's almost a short, right, for your stuff.
Well, the short was actually at 57.65.
Okay.
But still, I mean, after that freight train, then
Oh, it wouldn't shock me. It made a new high. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
yeah. See if it takes out this low here, then this 38 low. If it takes that out, it's there. You go. So you're not.
Thus the term no man's land.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You like 20 though, right? 20s.
15s. 16.
What are your levels on the S&P?
It's in no man's land. Although with that down move,
You'd bottomed out of there pretty good.
could be a shortcoming, but
Just wanted to sucker everybody in.
they needed some inventory.
There's your V bottom though.
Yep. $29. Yeah, it's still a couple ticks off. 2 ticks off on crude.
Got a lot of great content in California, but I'm going to be getting all that. It's such a big file that it's going to be snail mailed to me. So.
Right. Hold on 1 second.
Yep. So if you're looking at the 5 minute on crude, you're kind of getting an idea. We'll start with our hourly view. You can see kind of the range. We retested some of those lows overnight at 56, a little bit higher than 56. We're trading as high as 58. So on an hourly chart, we definitely got back up to that level, to 57.75 by 57.80, and we're seeing some price action coming down here. Pretty big wick on the hourly. 5 minute had that big impulse up. We've retraced the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes here. And last 30 minutes we've come basically back. Got 60 cents So we want to start to see this correlation change. We got this current market has got a lower high in the 5-minute, lower low, trading at the midpoint of current low previous. So we want to start seeing if that correlation is going to change here on a 5-minute here.
On crude?
Yeah. Sold off, now it's kind of bouncing a little bit. Let's see what it does. See if it's going to hold some of these levels.
It's obviously better that it held those. Higher lows.
Yeah. Well, it's back above the 5740, which was the old support level before it broke. Still got another minute for this candle to print. See how it's going to finish. Big push lower there. 10 cents off from your area. Start getting down to your zone.
16, which is add 2 cents, right? So 18 cents.
Yeah, I'm trading 26s right now.
Kind of a low risk short right now in the NASDAQ. I guess you could risk 03s.
Low risk short?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see it break 98, but I mean, it's definitely, you're not risking a ton, that's for sure.
Well, you could literally put the stop right here.
Right above those highs?
Like 02 half. But this is just, it's hard when there's rumors or news. Seems to be unwinding it all on crude, on the euro, on the the dollar.
Yeah. There's a big push down on crude, so lower highs, lower lows, testing lows of current previous. We're still bearish on crude. No support yet. Wanted you to think so for a second, though, didn't it?
Well, now that it's hit that area, it's got to start bottoming. If it could turn and give another buy. We shall see, right?
Yeah. NASDAQ still pushing highs here.
2-pointer. Although I think this is right where
You got the S&P stronger today. You got the S&P stronger today.
Yeah, it's probably because of crude.
Yeah. How do financials look? Flat. Pretty much break even for the day. looking back at your bands here.
Well, you'd like to see it try and hold and turn. Seems like just everything's retracing the whole vessel seas. I'm just reading about it. But it's almost retraced it all. Imagine that.
From the
I think the
still got
missed
another
consumer confidence was the first little.
push down.
Let me look on a 5-minute. Came out at 9. So this down move is the consumer confidence, and then kind of sound like I think maybe this first down move was the ship.
See if it takes off the highs here on the NASDAQ. Did you get your megaphone pattern today? It's been a little bit since we've seen him.
It's been a while. Sure, why not, right?
Yeah. Should break above it here. It seems like it's bottoming a little bit here, huh?
Eighteens. Let's see. The one thing about that kind of technical pattern is it's kind of damaging. You know, it's like gap, 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 and then it's retrace it all. So
yeah,
it's a tough one.
You had Apple earnings last night, right?
What's that?
Apple earnings last night?
Yep. They're gonna keep buying back stock in all their games. You're just a money machine. I think they were saying the China sales are gonna outpace U.S.
We better get you an iPhone.
No thanks.
No master.
No.
Much better spot here on crude.
Yeah, it's just that's a tough technical pattern when it breaks. All that. So,
Higher low, lower high. High is the current of the midpoint of previous on a 5 minute. Let's see how this thing holds next too. We engulfs that. Not engulfs it, but closes above the high of the previous.
I like the 18 buy would always stop.
Right here, 18s.
Not sure if I can get the rocket ship going, but we'll see.
Should be got at least 10.
Yes, sir. Pretty pretty quiet after all those kind of moves.
Yeah. Yeah, crude really got to take out the 25 highs. Okay. That's the close of 20 minutes ago, the high of 15 minutes ago, the high of 10 minutes ago, and now it's the current high. So you're going to get a nice push that breaks that.
Right.
And it's just sitting and waiting. There it goes. Nice pop.
Should run into trouble at 37. Got some snappiness to it.
Mm-hmm. Now your NASDAQ starting to look weaker.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for this test here. We just got. It's not the best spot in the world, but see if we can get a short. See, when stuff is news related, it gets a little tougher.
Yeah.
It's because they don't like the iPhone watch or whatever it's called. They call it the eye shatter now.
The eye shatter?
Apparently, it's very easy to break.
Oh.
Kind
Well,
of like iPhones because the glass is rounded on the edge, so it's.
no, I spent 3 hours yesterday at the Apple store and playing with those watches because they've got a whole bunch on display. They're actually pretty freaking awesome. They're pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
But I can see them being pretty fragile. I mean, you're going to spend $500 on a watch. You want it to be able to
Well, how many times do you drop a watch? I mean,
More than you drop your cell phone, that's for
more
sure.
than you drop a cell phone, right? I hope it comes with a big, ugly, like rubber Swatch watch. Remember the Swatch watch cards or whatever, those rubber things? Good.
They have that version.
Right. Well, it defeats the purpose of trying to get a decent looking watch if it's got all kinds of armament on it.
Mm. Buy the gold one at $17,000.
Shoot. Hit a little spike up
Snazzy.
on the NASDAQ. I'm looking, the anchor price I'm looking at is 04 and a quarter. So some of the stuff that we talked about out in California, which is when you get a trade signal or if you have an arrow, you're looking at different areas, stuff like that. I think you have to look at, the way I do it is I keep an anchor price in my head. So I'll lean on that price, say both long or short. Like if I want to be short at 4 and a quarter, you kind of keep that in your head that even though this might sell off, come back up and then make a really big plunge. We'll see. I'm watching the euro is right back at the day high, so I don't know. I don't know if there's no more news coming out on this situation with this ship, so but it could easily go to 91.
The NASDAQ? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see it break 4,500.
But right now it's only the euro going, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Got yourself a blue arrow. Crude oil 5-minute.
Could be a bottom here.
Yeah. Fourth time's a charm, I'm not sure. I think it blew a lot of energy with this whole little round tripper. But the way the euro's going, it's pretty interesting.
A lot of volatility this morning with the NASDAQ and all the markets. It was really whipsaw.
Yeah, I think I got to use limit orders because some of my fills were suspect. I just think when it's moving that fast,
Why worry when it's moving that quick? You're more about getting in than.
well, I was shooting just for quick points here and there, and some I didn't know how it didn't get filled as a profit target.
So kind of review scaling for everybody. That was one of the things that I've gotten a ton of feedback on from the people that were there in the training.
Scaling is when you go with, I think you got to go with two trends. You would go with the prevailing trend. So Nasdaq's kind of tough because we had this move. You go with the higher trends, we're still actually in an uptrend on the 1 hour and 4 hour. 15-minute, we've rolled over. So for me, if I want to pick a position to be entering into a trade, you want to start getting into a position at a good spot. If it starts to go your way, you could take that profit off, and then you can go and just kind of keep going back and forth and building into a position. Maybe I'll show some examples of it. But what you want to do is kind of the same thing with that anchor position. So let's just say in this scenario, if you had an anchor at 04, now we just made a new high, you can get in at a better price. Although I like to wait for it to get above the band before I start shorting, but what you want to do is get your cost basis in a better position.
Just kind of
So
hanging out. Yeah, crude's going to interact with these lows.
yeah, I don't know with crude. It's made a decent couple moves here, so
Yeah, both ways too.
stop will be 13. Let's see here. Let me go to 1 minute. Classic V bottom. We've talked about that out there too, where how bottoms are formed.
Yeah. Bottoms V and tops are rounded.
Right, rounded or M's or a lot of different topping formations.
That puts as a short-term bottom on crude here.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty I don't know what to make of it with the relative strength though. I mean, the euro is here and the crude is here, so it's kind of like we made a high and now we're making a higher high. What's going on with crude? I don't know if that's a bearish. I guess that's a bearish divergence, but it could still catch up because the euro can't stop itself.
Yeah.
Wow, day high in S&P.
Yeah, exactly.
No messing around.
Megaphone. Yep. He doesn't care what you think. He's going to do what it wants to do. highs, lower lows, testing lows account, previous on crude, last 10 minutes. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm reading now that they're saying NBC News inciting senior U.S. Navy officials says the report isn't true. So some hedge fund just made like about $500 million.
Just maybe they're already long and they needed to get out at a break even profit, a little bit of profit.
Seem to affect stocks more than anything. So
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the overall, the way the market was acting pre-market, it was poised to rally. I mean, obviously we didn't expect a buck in 2 minutes, but
I can't even get it stopping at that high. It's moving too fast. 16.
was that NASDAQ?
Yeah.
What price?
1450.
Is this considered knife throwing if the other one's considered knife catching?
What's that?
So is that considered knife throwing and the other one's considered knife catching?
Uh, Something like that.
See that a big push lower. See this thing just fall apart.
Crude. Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with technical price action like that.
News related.
Gets beat up.
Outside the band though. How do you look on a 1 minute? The bands are probably sloping down, I'd imagine.
You're kind of muffled.
How do we look on a 1 minute? The band should be sloping down on crude, right?
Yep. Yep. They are. There's the 5 minute, 15 minute. It's kind of when you step away, step back at the higher time frames. It's no man's land. I think they're just refuting this rumor. So
Yeah. We pushed right up into the Monday morning numbers, though. Back up to 57.75-ish on crude. So we're still within that range. I mean, this thing's been pretty range bound, 56 by 58, really.
right.
Still pushing lower on crude.
Right.
Should be weighing on the S&P, but it doesn't seem like it is.
The S&P is in its own world. Come on. And now the Bank of China is going to be buying.
This looks like a better spot for sure on the NASDAQ here. Here it goes. What would an objective be on the NASDAQ from here?
Well, it'll break down. It'll test the high and rally. And then, I mean, we haven't even gotten an arrow yet. I mean, it will come at the end of this bar, but it's blue band, '06.
Not quite 10.
Shorting's tougher. Just it's gonna grind around. Good sawtooth. I think now with all the excitement in the market with this news, it's gotta now go back to looking at Apple's earnings and all that and what's coming on deck.
Yeah, Euro's on a pretty good little push, huh? Looks like Apple's bottom for the day. Is our range in for the day on the NASDAQ here, or S&P? High to low?
I've learned if calling that stuff is a fool's gold. So ideally, you would cover one unit here if you were scaling in on NASDAQ. Get 12.
Could be your first objective.
It's just so firm that you have all this upside momentum coming. It shows up better in a 1 minute. Like this is just a normal little pullback.
Yeah.
So from a topping perspective, still seems bullish, kind of.
Yeah. Well, this is your retest towards the highs on the NASDAQ and S&P, like you mentioned.
Right. The yen's also kind of trickling down, so.
Definitely been a currency war, that's for sure.
Sure has. Today's a tough one. It's very choppy.
Yep.
Although within the framework of the higher time frames, it's wow. I didn't even look at the higher time frames, but yeah, they're doing pretty good. Getting a better bottoming. Is that one of your 5 minute deals?
Yeah. Improved?
At 89. So 91.
Yeah, this improved bottom.
You're all muffled.
So I think crude has bottomed.
Yeah.
What price did you have?
For what?
89, you said?
91 in the futures. Basically, the open of this current candle would be.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to go. I mean, it's pretty darn close, but I would think the midpoint's here and it closed like a couple ticks above. So
Let's look. Yeah, almost crude's flat for the day.
Right.
There's a pop.
There it goes.
Yeah, ES is see what's going to give us a potential buy here above 2103.
God, I kind of missed that one. 91s.
'91s.
Well, but you're supposed to
Oh,
buy
the
the
back.
open of this candle.
Yeah, yeah,
89 on this. You add 2 ticks, it's 91.
yeah. How do stocks look?
I haven't looked. Let's look at the spread chart though. Still pretty overvalued versus the yen. S&P 500. I mean, that's a pretty massive dollar move, and crude's actually gone down. See that?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if that's a bearish divergence for crude or it's just collecting energy before it rips higher.
Well, to just move like 80 cents in 5 minutes.
It can. Crude can do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Yeah, let's see what we're gonna get here.
I think you got a stock market freight train.
What's that?
A stock market freight train?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just you keep looking at the higher because people are asking me, well, why would you be buying? I'm like, well, because it's a 1 year uptrend. Well,
Because
technically,
if you don't buy the Fed, if you don't buy, only the Fed does.
then Janet's going to beat you to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to get above here, though. 45.23. It can do it. If it can break close up here and then take this out tomorrow, that just shows how strong. Because think of how many longs got beat up and puked out, thinking we're the situation with this ship. Now, if it turns in to be true and it's a long-term deal, then we'll have a deeper correction. But that would be a pretty nutty move on their part to do. To just negotiate this deal and then be like, yeah, we're gonna go pick up some warships. Bad idea.
Exactly.
so out of whack, but oh 08. So
All right, everybody. We'll see you on the wrap-up call.
2100 would be probably a close in the S&P. It would
Okay.
gravitate to that. All right. See you later.